Hi, my name is Kim Peterson. Welcome to my channel where we talk about fundraising for small nonprofits. Today, I'm excited to introduce a new series for my channel, basically breaking down all the essential pieces to building a fundraising program for small nonprofits that helps you raise money today, but also sets you up for growth and success in the long run. This will be for anyone who is responsible for raising money for a small nonprofit and who might be stressed out and struggling, unsure of where to start or how to fix problems that are dragging you down. There are so many resources out there to learn about fundraising, but often the strategies they talk about work best for larger organizations that have whole teams dedicated to fundraising. So if you work for or run a small nonprofit, take a moment to comment below and share what you do, because I'd really love to hear who's watching this channel and see what you do and what organizations are out there. So the truth is about fundraising that no matter the size of your budget, fundraising is always something that needs time, attention, and resources. There is no magic button, there is no one-size-fits-all system. But you can make the process smoother, make it more joyful for your team, and make it more successful if you take the time to build a good foundation and learn about how all the pieces work together. This is what this series is all about, and we're going to be unpacking the building blocks of a fundraising program piece by piece. So for some of you, this will help to create a fundraising program from the ground up, brand new. For others, this might be a good way to understand why things aren't working as well as they need to. And some of it might be obvious to you, some of it might actually be really surprising. So I'm looking forward to this journey. And along the way, we'll be sharing free fundraising resources and templates, and I hope to also get to know some of you who are watching. So you can subscribe to my channel here. I also have a newsletter with a link to sign up in the description, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. So our first building block is pretty existential. It's why your nonprofit, your organization exists. Seems like an easy one, no? But you might be surprised. Nonprofit people are doers. It's in our nature. We see a problem, we come up with a solution, and then we take action. Sometimes when we first start out, the intense energy that comes with action, with helping people and solving a really specific problem, is enough. Supporters see the same need as you, and they're happy to donate or volunteer. But that energy tends to fade with growth and complexity. Yes, you're helping more people, raising more awareness, your solution is scaling up and having a greater impact. But the bigger you get, the longer you operate, the more questions from potential supporters there will be. Fair questions, but they can be tricky ones. Questions like, why is your work important? Why is your solution the right one? Why are you the organization to take this on? Why should I support you? The answer to these questions is the basis of a fundraising case for support. So before a fundraising plan, before writing your next grant or reaching out to any prospective donors, our number one foundational building block is your case. The case for support can be a formal document, or it can be as simple as a couple of bullet points on a sticky note. The important thing is that it is collectively agreed upon by the people involved in your organization. It is understood and embraced by staff and volunteers. And remember, the case is not what you do, but why you do it. It's the ending to this statement. We do blank because, so for example, we run hot lunch programs for underserved schools because every child deserves to have nutritious food. We organize volunteers to clean up our local beaches because our seaside ecosystems are precious and their health is connected to ours. Also, motivation matters. Two organizations can do the same thing, but for very different reasons. This will impact how they speak to supporters and how they serve their community, and also impact who is coming forward to support them. So for example, nonprofit A distributes food to shelters because they want to ensure everyone has the dignity of a regular meal. Nonprofit B distributes surplus grocery store food to community groups as a solution to the environmental problem of food waste. So two organizations doing very, very similar things, but for different reasons, are going to attract two different sets of donors. It's also going to impact how they talk about what they do and why they do it, of course. If you don't have a because that is written down and understood broadly across your organization, then that is task number one, my friends. The answer to the because question, your case for support, will do a couple of key things for you. It will give everyone, staff, volunteers, board members, interns, donors, all on the same page. Everyone will understand the reason we are giving time and energy to this cause. This is crucial if you're going to be asking people to donate. There's room for variation, of course. Not everyone is going to have the same motivation, and you can have several related whys. But there has to be some motivation outside of we exist and therefore we need to fundraise, or we have these programs and therefore we need money. In the same way that it's going to help you attract staff and volunteers to your cause, it's going to help you talk to donors who very often will connect first with your why before your what. Giving to charity is largely an emotional decision. People give with their heart, not their heads. Your case is the emotional heart of the matter and should be the guiding message behind all your donor communications and fundraising appeals. So here is your challenge. Download the Case for Support worksheet I have linked in the description to get started with your case for support development. I have a couple of other great resources too, also linked if you want to learn more about building a case for support. So even if it feels like your case is obvious, you should still do it. Just because something makes sense for you personally does not mean others are hearing the message. The other tip I would give to you heading into this process is that especially if you are someone who is running the organization, you need to bring others in to help you out. Remember, the case is a shared understanding. It does not live within a single person. So talk to your staff, your board, your donors, and take all of this into account when developing the official case for support. I would even go so far as to bring a third-party person in who is rather objective about it, because the closer you are to the organization and the case or the cause, the harder it is going to be to write something that is going to resonate with a large group of people. And be prepared. You might hear things from these questions that you're giving to your staff and your volunteers that you really don't expect. It's not going to match up with what you have in your own mind for the reason why the organization exists or why you do what you do. But this is actually really good news, because it means that you have uncovered another motivation that you can amplify to connect with more supporters who are also going to share these values and concerns. And this is how you grow a nonprofit. Okay, that's it for our first video in the Building Blocks series for my channel. Thank you so much for joining. Please subscribe to follow along. All my links to connect are below, as well as that case for support worksheet and the resources that I had mentioned. We'll see you next time.